Representative Rasmusson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. After college, I moved to Minneapolis and had the privilege of being a constituent of Representative Hornstein. I was the rare conservative in Uptown. I would occasionally call and email Representative Hornstein with my input on public policy issues, and he always got back to me, sometimes with a phone call. Even though we often respectfully disagreed on public policy, I very much appreciated his responsiveness. Following Representative Hornstein's example of being responsive to constituents, I'm offering the A56 amendment today. The A56 amendment would require the Department of Public Safety to reopen the Fergus Falls Driver's Exam Center, which has been closed since March of 2020, initially closed in response to COVID. This extended closure has left the district I represent with many challenges. Otter Tail County has almost 60,000 residents and covers more than 2,200 square miles, but currently does not have a driver's exam center. Today, many of my constituents need to travel 100 miles round trip to get to the nearest exam center. This closure has had a major impact on workers who need CDL or school bus licenses to access job opportunities, creating barriers to employment. I also got a call from a family with 2 working parents. The mother told me that they couldn't afford to take the day off of work to bring their teenage daughter the 100-mile round trip to have her driver's exam. I also got a call from a man who needed to complete DWI retesting to get his driver's license back and to get back on his feet. He couldn't find a ride to the exam center, again, a 100-mile round trip journey. The front desk has distributed a letter I received from local community leaders detailing the importance of reopening the center. I would encourage members to take a look at the letter. Mr. Speaker and members, the closure of this center and others across the state is putting an undue burden on our communities and citizens. I know that Otter Tail County is not unique in needing a driver's exam center reopened. So I would encourage us to put this amendment in the transportation omnibus as a placeholder for conferees to address and for the administration to address in conference committee. I have overall been relatively impressed with the responsiveness of agencies when dealing with my inquiries as a legislator. However, my community and I have reached out to the Department of Public Safety for a status update on this driver's exam center, and we have yet to receive a response. I know other members in this chamber share my frustrations. This amendment is a friendly reminder to the agency that they need to be responsive to this legislature and the communities we represent. Mr. Speaker and members, if I haven't yet convinced you of the importance of passing this amendment today, Otter Tail County has decided to up the ante. The front desk has distributed an additional letter from the chair of the Otter Tail County Board of Commissioners. Otter Tail County has pledged to unofficially recognize the Fergus Falls Driver's Exam Center as the Frank Hornstein Driver's Exam Center once it is reopened. I told the commissioners that it was a bit ironic to name a driver's exam center after an individual who's known for not driving, but nonetheless, members, Otter Tail County wishes to recognize Chair Hornstein's impact on transportation policy. Mr. Speaker and members, I humbly ask for your support on this amendment. Let's put a marker in this bill to address reopening driver's exam centers across the state for the conference committee. Let's send a message to the Department of Public Safety that they need to be responsive to this issue facing our communities. Members, with your support, I look forward to inviting each of you to the grand reopening of the Frank Hornstein Driver's Exam Center. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Discussion to the A56 amendment. The member from Hennepin, Representative Hornstein.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I wish you could see me smiling through this mask, Representative Rasmusson. That was actually wonderful. I do really appreciate your comments on your time in Uptown, and I also want to commend you for being very responsive to your constituents. And this is exactly the kind of information that we need to make good decisions. And we're getting it not just from Representative Rasmusson members. I mean, this is common. I get those concerns too. And so the reminder to the agency is wholly appropriate. We heard quite a bit of testimony on this, particularly from DVS, over the course of the session. We take an initial step in this bill of making sure that at least you can have access to a driver testing station in an adjacent county, and I recognize that still is a burden for many people. But that is in the bill as an initial step. We need to continue, as you say correctly, to figure out a way to take a comprehensive approach to this issue. I think we need to be looking at not just Otter Tail County, but several other counties. I think Koochiching is in the same position. So I give you this commitment, Representative Rasmusson, that as we have a provision to expand this service, as you point out, needs to be, or actually not even expanded, preserved. We need to preserve this service, particularly in Greater Minnesota, especially in Greater Minnesota. I will oppose the amendment simply because it's just one county. I think we need to take a comprehensive approach. I'm very committed to bringing that approach to the conference committee. I know there's some language on the Senate side. We have language on this, so in the conference committee we call this same and similar. And I'm committed to continuing to work with you. And I really want to get up to Otter Tail County. I want to commend you for your efforts, but you know, I'll say on a related or maybe not related, but still it's related because it's Fergus Falls. Fergus Falls as a community has done some really exemplary work on bringing people together on issues of diversity, on inclusion. I'm aware of some meetings that have taken place. I think the Attorney General was up there prior to the pandemic, and it's just a community that I think is so wonderful, and I would be honored to go up there and visit not only the people that are interested in DVS, but the broader community as well. So thank you so much. I'm sorry that we won't be taking this amendment today, but I'm very committed to continuing our work together to address this important issue.
The author of the amendment, the member from Otter Tail, Representative Rasmusson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I very much appreciate Chair Hornstein's commitment to working with both myself and other members on this important issue. As Chair Hornstein mentioned, the Senate Transportation Bill actually has Fergus Falls included as a required reopening, in addition to a number of other locations, both in the metro and around the state of Minnesota. And so I look forward to working on that issue with Chair Hornstein and others. And members, you know, this is a broad issue. It's an important issue. A driver's license, being able to take an exam, is about being able to access the world, find a job, get to school, and it's just so important. So, members, thank you for the time on this issue today, and I would appreciate your support.